If you are logging into MyTeam today, this is what matters. Welcome back to another beautiful day in the MyTeam universe. We have some new challenges, updates on King of the Court, plus a unique opportunity to get a Dark Matter piece for the Winter Festival. Let's just dive right into it. First things first, take care of your daily challenges. It's play single player today and some daily stats. There'll be plenty of challenges to stack in offline mode today to make it worthwhile, so definitely take care of that. Along with this, we have our exhibitions. As usual, just pop in here, do all the ones you can. Free rewards, we always take that. Ultimate goal is just to build the account with as much resources as possible. Over to the Season 3 tab. Nothing new today. Keep working through any of these that you haven't finished yet. It's all good stuff between the spotlights and this Hall of Fame badge on the 'Tis the Season. Again, these cards are really cheap, so this should be very easy to get done if you haven't already. But go ahead and take care of anything in that. They haven't added anything to that in a while, so we should be getting close to being all caught up. Same thing with the weekly challenges, nothing new today. This Queen and Fears duo has 3 days left, so definitely recommend that you do that. I've been seeing a lot of budget squads. I actually played one in King of the Court, and he didn't have that duo. He had some other cards from this tab, and I hopped on the mic. I was like, man, definitely get this Fears and Queen duo done. He was actually running Karl Anthony Towns, and I said, man, that would be a big upgrade for that. So definitely prioritize anything on the weekly challenges, particularly Fears and Queen and this Tyrese Halliburton. Over to the Winter Festival tab, and we do have a new challenge. It's this Steph Curry. Hopefully everything's tracking properly. I haven't tried this one yet, and hopefully the Cooper flag is now tracking. So this will be really easy for me to stack. I'm just going to put flag and Curry in a lineup and play some breakout games. One of those breakout games, I'll make sure to use 3 Warriors players. Really easy, just a diamond piece, but again, they all add up. 2 free diamonds, you're getting very close to a pink diamond all of a sudden, and there's some really good cards that are 2 pink diamonds, or if you're going for something higher, those pink diamonds definitely add up. So keep grinding Winter Festival, and of course any game mode you play after a win, you're going to get some gold snowballs as well. Let's take the time to talk about that unique opportunity, Triple Threat Park. If you can get a 5-game win streak in this mode, it's a Sunday special, folks. So every Sunday, if there's a festival, they usually put the highest tier piece in the park. And if you come in here and press start, you can see win streak at 5, you will get a Dark Matter piece. I guess I'm currently on a 1-game win streak. That might have been from yesterday. I don't know if it carries over. That would be interesting. You could try to get a 4-game win streak on Saturday and then just win 1 on Sunday. Maybe I'll test that for you next week. But yes, apparently I have a 1-game win streak. I haven't played any today, but I will come in here and test my luck. Good luck if you do. It's going to be a little sweaty. I posted that video yesterday, specifically for this on tips and tricks and how to win in park. Honestly, it's probably the least sweaty online mode, and there's definitely levels to this game. We have our comp players who are maybe like tier 6. And then we have those noobs coming in with free agent squads who are probably just dipping their toes in, who are tier 1, and everything in between. And I consider myself like a tier 3 or 4. I'm not a comp player by any means, but I'm pretty good at the game, and I can come in here and get 5-game win streaks relatively consistently. A little tougher on Sunday, but it's because even if you're a tier 3 or 4 player, there's so many matchups that you'll be playing against tier 1 and tier 2. I'm saying tier 6 is like the good tier here. You might get unlucky and match some tier 5 and 6 players, those really high-end players. But pick and choose where you start. Try to go to a court that looks like it's not the sweatiest lineup. Like I would run down here, take my map off, and who are all these guys using? Okay, he's got Julius Randle, Glenn Rice, Jaylen Brown. This is a pretty sweaty lineup, so probably avoid that court. And especially for that first game, try to jump in a court where you think you can start off with a win. After that, you can't really control who starts popping in, but I have found that first win is the hardest. You can tell everyone's kind of sweating out here with some pretty good lineups right now. So eventually you just got to dive in, but try to start off strong with a strategic first game. Or if you can, just run around the park, if you see someone with good rep and a good player, don't hesitate to squad up, or even just try to time it where you two join the non-squads lineup. You can definitely get some good wins on the non-squad lineup if you have 3 good players, because so many random people just join these games. So if you can time it right and join with 3 good players in a non-squad, you can definitely get your streak that way. But if you have time today, I do recommend you test it out. It's not game breaking if you miss it. Sometimes I get like a little pressure. I'm like, man, I gotta get my 5-game win streak. End of the day, you don't. And, it'd be great if you do. But we can look at the exchange. You should be able to get what you're going after with or without that one dark matter piece. And if it is the difference on you missing out on, Mobley or Ray Allen, it is okay. There will be comparable cards coming out. And, don't feel like you have to sweat it and you're not going to be in a good spot if you don't get it. There's never one reward that really makes or breaks it. Speaking of the exchange, I'm honing in more and more on what I really think is going to be best for my account. And I'm really debating between Ray Allen, Jabari Smith, and Evan Mobley. And if you're grinding the game consistently and building your account, I would recommend you shoot for one of those 3. And that's saying, for sure get Koulibaly and Kamara. I would recommend them. They're so cheap. But for your high-end card, depending on how many pieces you're able to get, this Jabari Smith is really good. He's a bit of a different player than Evan Mobley. They play the same position. This Jabari Smith's going to be a little bit more offensive. He's got a great jump shot. So if you're a very offensive player, you can get off shots quickly, maybe good with some escape moves, go with Jabari. If you're more of a defensive-minded player, you like to grind it out a bit, play really good defense, run in transition and then slow it down half court, maybe run pick and roll, Mobley's your guy. And then if you're good at power forward, and this is where I'm kind of at, I'm like, man, my power forward, small forwards are pretty stacked. I'm running Kid now. I used Kid last night in King of the Court, and he was hooping. And I have John Morant, but his defense isn't as good. So I sold my Giddy, and I'm like, man, there's actually kind of a hole in my point guard spot. So maybe I go Ray Allen. But I would recommend on the high end, putting out of mind some of these really top tier ones like the LaMelos and Carmelos in this 97 plus pack, which I just don't think is worth it. Putting those kind of out. The top tier reward you kind of should be going for would probably be one of those 3. This Scotty Barnes is a good card, and so if that's the position you need, go for it. But I think Mobley's a little better, and Jabari is probably a little better as well. So again, just keep stacking pieces, have an idea of like what's kind of the big thing that you're going after, and then you probably will have leftover pieces for all of these other fun things like dynamic duos. And I've heard both these amethysts are actually pretty good, and by the end of it, I'll probably just grab both because they're so cheap. And these festival cards can really be some of the best cards for salary cap. If you've been playing this year, Rui Hachimura and Kalel Ware, we were just in the park. Someone was using Kalel Ware, trying to get his Sunday 5-game win streak. Really, really good cards. So they usually put some good amethysts in, these exchanges, and these are both good cards. So feel free to grab these as well. And, as I said yesterday, it's really a shopping spree. Just keep building pieces, whether you're playing King of the Court, playing Park, or just grinding Breakout. You should have a good number of pieces to at least get some cool stuff. If you don't get any of these top end rewards, that's fine. Just stack up your account with all these dynamic duos, diamonds, and amethysts, and you've still won this festival. You still have really improved your account for completely free. So good on you. Next thing I do want to talk about is season modes in King of the Court. So of course, stay after your season grind. We reviewed some of the exchange pieces yesterday and what I think's worth it. It's the weekend. It's still a good day to just keep on this if you're going after your 75 showdown wins or getting breakout exchange pieces, whatever it might be. If you are doing the 250 win in Park, a great day to do it because you can likely, try for that 5-game win streak while you're doing it. I did play a bunch of all-star team up yesterday. Shout out Tommy, that's my boy. Played with him a bit, and he subscribed to the channel now, so appreciate that. Pull up a couple clips from that. We were hooping, and that was fun. I didn't get the 5-game win because one of my teammates actually loaded out, his game crashed or whatever, so we weren't able to get 5, but I got 4 wins, which is cool. I'm up to like 80 wins now, so in a really good spot for all-star team up. I just need to get 20 wins over the next 2 weeks. Should be doable. King of the Court, I talked about it yesterday, and I dove right in just like I said I would. Last night I played 3 games, and this morning I played 2, and I have a pretty good idea of how to take this thing on. Honestly, I played too many games, and you can see how the scores went. That's 4 wins. I went 4-1, and my loss I got 750 points. And you can see game one was by far the easiest. I can flash up my opponent's lineup. It was a budget squad. Shout out to him. And that was the guy I hopped on the mic and I was like, dude, do the Queen and Fears duo. Shoot me a subscribe because you're on the right path. You're grinding. It's a full rewards team. You can just improve it a little bit. But honestly, almost every lineup I faced was less sweaty than when I was playing Showdown, trying to get those 10 wins in Showdown. I think King of the Court is less sweaty than Showdown, particularly on Saturday night and Sunday. As we talked about yesterday, I think Friday, Saturday morning are probably the sweatiest days. But after winning 2 games, I already had 4,400 points, which puts me clear into Tier 3, which was really my goal. And at the time, Tier 2 was like 8,000. It goes up a little bit. It's going to keep trickling up slowly up until Sunday night, but we shouldn't see a huge jump from Tier 2. I think it will probably finish around like 8,800. But I thought to myself, I was like, I might be able to push to Tier 2. And so I kept playing games, and you can see it's like every game got a little sweatier. I think each game was a little bit tougher along the way, and I kept getting less points. In that first game I won by like 15, and the other 2 to 3 and 4, they were like 7 to 10 point wins. They were a lot closer, and I would have really had to blow some people out to push myself into that Tier 2 because it's such a huge jump from Tier 3 to Tier 2. So moral of the story is I would just shoot for like, if you want to play 4, that's going to be almost overkill, but shoot to like 2 or 3 games. If you get 1 win, you should be in a pretty good spot to get Tier 3. And even if you get 4 wins, it might not push you to Tier 2. So it may not be worth jumping. And I was watching some streamers last night. Shout out No Return MG. He was on stream. He's got a stack squad, and he was beating people by like 50, and he was getting like 2,900 to 3,000 points. Which, if you had 4 games beating people by 50, you only get 3,000 for that. He's only at 12,000, so he's not even top 10. Like, how much is Ty Debo beating these guys by? I think some of these games are literally 120 to 10 or something. They're really sweating it. And I think something to do with your lineup. If you have a less rated lineup, you get more points. So a lot of these top meta guys are trying to play with sapphires and completely gold benches. That might boost you a couple extra points if you want to like lower your team overall. Personally, I recommend just kind of avoiding that. Bring in your fun squad. Come in here, play with your best team, play a few games, go for Tier 3. If you want to sweat and try to get to Tier 2 or Tier 1, you either need to really blow people out, which will get a little tougher as you go because the matchups get a little tougher because the matchmaking is based on how many points you have, or do some lineup manipulation and try to run with real budget beasts, amethysts and things like that. So it is a bit tricky, but overall I recommend play 2 or 3 and it should get you right into Tier 3. I played 5 just to test kind of the waters, but it was fun. I had a really good time, and I recommend at least playing a couple. And now I'll get a pink diamond piece, which is great, and a 92 plus, so maybe we'll pull something fun out of that. With that said, it's Sunday. You still have plenty of time if you did want to dive in and play a game or two. Put your best lineup out there, go have some fun, and it's a good way to get better at the game. Best way to get better at the game is playing it. Playing it online, I think, kind of brings out a new skill set as well, because you kind of see what other people are doing and you can kind of emulate it. So definitely recommend you try that out. Let's move on to the auction house, and it's been fun. I'm starting to hone in on some really good, flip techniques, and I think it comes down to a couple things. One, just have your list of players that you can flip. So I've been flipping a lot of those Derek Queens. They've been consistently selling for like 40K. Now I'm selling Jeremiah Fears, which is awesome. So just have a list of, 10 cards even, and I'll just go through mine really quick because I do want to help you guys out. I'm looking at players like, let's see what we got here. We have Derek Queen, Jeremiah Fears, Shaq, and Kenny. So all the dynamic duos. Ace Bailey, Buzelas, Okongwu, Dinwiddie, Harper, Castle. And now we can start looking at some pink diamonds. And I didn't realize this yesterday, but I definitely want to talk about it today. A lot of these pink diamonds are now on buyout, and there is absolutely some room to maneuver here. So I'd recommend honing in, a little bit more on your filter. Maybe go position, color, and even conference, and then go buyout. And you can see you get, a pretty short list. And I was considering buying this Jamal Murray, but there's a couple So like, let's just dive in a little bit deeper because I think these deep dives are fun. So say, we kind of identified that Jamal Murray, like, wait, what's going on with Jamal Murray? There's only one up for buyout. Are people actually bidding on Jamal Murray? Doesn't really look like it because there's one up for a 100K bid, and I'm guessing no one's bidding that number, and that's why people are starting their bids a little bit lower. Now, what is the lowest price I could list a Jamal Murray buyout for? And considering there's actually none really on buyout except for this one at 100K, I'm thinking at least 70, right? Like at least 70. So now what I will do is come in here and like, let's bid 65 on this dude. And if we win, I'll list him immediately. This is a day flip. This is kind of a quick flip mindset. I'll bid like 65. And if I win this, I'll list him for 80. And we will lose 10% on the tax, which would bring it down to 72,000. And then we could sell him at 72 and make that 7K. You can see that bid didn't win. Now I don't want to bid to 72 because my number that I would sell him at is 80. And if I minus the 10%, that brings me down to 72. So I lost my profit there. So I will just move on. But it's a good example. Hey, if I can come in here and see a Jamal Murray, either one on buyout, probably 70 or below, just someone who lists it quick, or two, one of these bids. And I would bid on this one, but there's 10 hours left. I think that's a little bit too long. But otherwise I would. And so come in here and try to bid on one with this, make sure you have your number of what you're going to sell at and then the room for your profit. So pink diamonds are definitely, an option there. Let's go to another position. I'll make sure it's on buyout and let's just see what pink diamond shooting guards are on 500 buyout in the Western Conference. There's actually none. So if I did this filter and one popped up, I would immediately research and think, hey, this could be somebody I can buy and then put on bid, or just see if I can get a good bid. The other cards that are interesting are actually these WNBA pink diamonds. I made like 10K buying and flipping a Nafisa Collier yesterday because it's just such few in circulation and people are still buying them, not to use, but really just for more like collector. So I came in here and there was a Nafisa, starting bid at like 10K just on bid, and I bid 50 and I won it, and I just flipped her right away for 65. Probably could have put it a little higher. So those are ones you just gotta be active and just have a list. Like keep filtering through, positions, conference, pink diamond, buyout. In this position, conference in particular, there's a ton of Zions. Like this filter's a little bit full. Zion's just a really cheap pink diamond. You'd need to find one at like 40 for him to be kind of profitable. Probably same around Jalen Williams, but it's still a pretty quick filter just to pop in here. And then if you come to this filter and see anybody but Zion or Jalen Williams, it's a potential snipe. So you can just get comfortable. Right now, I think pink diamonds have a lot of room to move. Like even this Lisa Leslie, it's kind of a tough call because she's at buyout for 100. And so the question is, if I buy her at 100 and put her on bid, someone has to bid over 110 just for it to even be profitable. But this one here, I gotta think, there's no Lisa Leslie's up. If I put a Lisa Leslie up on buy now for 90,000, I probably would sell it pretty quick, right? So here I'll come in and bid like 78, maybe 77. I'm cheap, man. I'm saying undercut these on your bids. Always undercut. You have no risk, so that's not higher. I'm not going to bid up to 84, but you get the point. There's some great ways to move and groove, and pink diamonds are actually very, very viable right now. And I recommend you start playing around with some of these filters. The other method that we were talking about is specific cards, and the great way to do that is just come into your collection, go into recent sets, and search for them this way. And we've been monitoring this Buzelis. It's kind of sneaked up a little bit. I don't see many in the 40 range, and it kind of depends on what time you're on. And that's what I noticed with Derek Queen, where his price at certain times of the day is literally 50K, and then if you pop on a different time of day, you can find them for 30K. So some of these cards fluctuate just that high. Have your number. I think with this card, he'll always sell at like 50. I think there's a 47 up right now. Like someone's gonna buy this. So if there's anything here on bid that I could win for like 40 and below, I'm really comfortable making that purchase. Nothing here I can bid on right now for Buzelis. Maybe this one. You know what? I'll throw a 35,000 bid on this one. It's not high enough. I'll move right along to Ace Bailey. Very convenient that they're right next to each other, and his price is similar. A little bit more rare though, something to keep in mind. So this Bailey price could be a little higher. It looks like he's closer to 50. Maybe we throw a bid on this. Nah, it's a little too close. Do this for a few sets. I don't need to go through all of them, but there's some really good cards. We made about 5-6K on a quick Dinwiddie flip, and there's a really good potential. So I sold my Dinwiddie for like 42 yesterday, and he's already up. I probably could have listed him higher, but I got him for like 32. So I was like, hey, I'll take my free MT. But here's a great one. I think he'll sell at 50 really easily, because here's 57,000. It's not quite selling, but there's nothing else even close to that. So if I put a Dinwiddie on the market soon, he should sell at 50. So I'm going to come in here and definitely bid on this one. And I could, since it's so close to ending, I could even maybe wait and try to bid last second. But I'm okay with that. I'm just going to, keep my volume play. It's like if I win it, I win it. If I don't, I don't. I want to sell at 50. I'll bid pretty high because I think I can definitely sell this card. So I'll even go to like 43. All right, let's see if we win that. It's already up to 35, but at 35, that's still a great price, and I might not get outbid. So we'll monitor that. But yes, a great day. The prices have stabilized a bit, especially on the buy nows. So when that happens, as long as you understand their kind of daily range, they usually stick within that. What changes that and disrupts that is these new big sets coming out. Like we saw huge price fluctuations when 'Tis the Season comes out, but we're in a bit of a lull right now. Then we didn't even have a new drop last Friday. And the next drop Tuesday is kind of uncertain. It could be Wild Gems, we're not sure. So even just yesterday and today was a really good stable day. And those days you want to take advantage of. Today should be pretty stable. Tomorrow should be pretty stable unless we get a huge leak about what's coming Tuesday. Then when we get closer to Friday, be a bit more conservative because on Friday we could see a little dip. But in general, if you're doing day flips, just understand, what is the cheapest buy now of a card and then start bidding on it. And there's definitely some good room for profit. That's all I got for you today, guys. Keep on your challenges. Winter Festival is, live and well. Knock these out. Hop into the park. If you see me in there, say what up. I'll be playing. Hopefully I get my 5-game win streak. And drop a comment down below. I'm curious about a couple things. Tell me how you did in King of the Court. And let me know if you're able to get that 5-game win streak. And also just tell me how your lineup's looking. I'm curious. Are you guys building out a really solid lineup? Are you growing your MT? Let me come along this journey with you because I'm curious how you guys are progressing in this game as I am, because there's so many things to do and so many resources to get, and I'm guessing all of our accounts are just getting bigger and bigger and better, and that's what makes this game fun, when you just feel like, hey, I got a bunch of MT, I got a bunch of cool cards, I got plenty of takeovers and badges. I can kind of do whatever I want in this mode. It's whatever I feel is fun. That's really the ultimate goal, is to have fun. Appreciate everybody. We're growing. We're getting close to 75, 80 subscribers, which is a huge milestone. Let's keep the support going. Keep it up, guys. Drop a like, drop a subscribe. Much love and peace.